Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one more motivational English with teacher Graziella. We are studying listening comprehension for you to practice and accurate your ear together with lessons and secrets of life and happiness. Today we're going to talk about how to get out of the chaos. We are going to study the chaos. We're going to look at the chaos as a map. We're going to evaluate and improve tools and situations of ideas that's going to enter in our mind in order to survive and overcome the problem, the chaos. So how to cultivate ourselves into this? The idea first here is to know yourself, of course, but this is not easy. We take a long life to know about ourselves. We like to point at other people just to see how we compare about things, but the most precious and unique thing we have to do is to look at ourselves. And this self-knowledge, to know about yourself, it's super difficult because we don't want to see the dark parts, yeah? We don't want to see the bad parts. So, number one here is to understand the chaos. If you understand what's going on and put in a piece of paper, rational thinking, what's going on? Okay, I have a problem with my wife. Okay, what's the problem? Put on the paper, because sometimes we think too much with emotion, and this emotion brings the chaos duplicated. Sometimes triplicate. So the idea here is to understand in a rational way what is the real problem, what is the cause you're suffering. For example, the virus. So we have a virus that's physically contagious and we have to stay at home and wash hands and blah, blah, blah. So you put on the paper what's the problem. I have a friend who has cancer and she's in hospital. Okay, things get better, a little bit reduced the suffering when we put on a piece of paper, because paper is rational. And when you understand the cause, it's much better to focus in the solution than just looking at the problem itself. So that's number one. What is the cause? Put on a piece of paper and tell me what's the real problem. Number two, you're going to start thinking about how much energy you have into you, because you have transpassed and overcome so many problems in your life. And this is going to be one more. It's a big mountain. I know it's a lot of suffering, and you have one step from sadness, depression, and suicidal, because the problems come. You arrive home, there's a call. You arrive in the job, there's some news. You talk to a person and receive something unexpected, and our reactions is all the time being evaluated. So we are having a test here, and the test is, are you going to commit suicidal or not? Because a lot of people commit, and it's okay because they feel sad. I understand the sadness. They have different types of problems. Now, if you have all these problems together at once, you have a health problem together with a money problem, together with a relationship problem, with a love problem and a professional problem. If you had all this together, of course, you would commit suicidal, because we can't stand the suffering. Now, the idea here in this life, in this planet, is not to have all the problems together. You are going to have one by one, because nobody can stand all together. Now, if you're having a big problem, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to complain about it, I'm going to be proven. I'm sure about this. I bet that you are going to tell me in the play of victim, because I fail, because I don't have money, because I don't have a job, because this, because that. And I understand. I'm going to cry together with you. I understand. But the idea is how you're going to overcome this without suicidal. The idea is not to commit suicidal. Either the direct suicidal to kill yourself, and either the indirect suicidal, which is drinking and smoking, because this is indirect suicidal too. So how are you going to overcome the problem you just put on the paper? Now you know what's chaos, and you already know that you're not going to commit suicidal. Yeah? All right, let's go to step number 3. What's the problem? Because the solution for this problem is the same problem. And you say, teacher, what the fuck is this? The solution for your problem is the problem. So when you are having a financial problem, when you're having a professional problem, when you're having a family problem, this problem is exactly the solution you need to grow up, increase, evolve. And then you say, teacher, this is sickness, yeah? It's crazy, é uma doença isso aí. But when you pay attention you're going to see that the solution is already in the difficulty. It's with this difficulty that you're going to be a better person. It's exactly with this problem that you're going to evolve. It's exactly with these tragedies, this chaos, this problem that you're having now. It can be in any area of your life. Exactly with this that you're going to grow up. And in the middle of the tornado, you're going to tell me, teacher, fuck you. Yeah, of course. Because I've been to this. I've been to many different areas, problem, perhaps not all of them, because I can't stand as a human being that I am, but I have passed through many difficulties, and I can tell you, it's not easy. You need effort, you need strength, you need power, and you're going to find this somewhere in you. Stand up from the sofa and start writing the solutions, step A, 2, B, C, D, that you can do. Talk to people or go for necessities and help, because you decided that you have a chaos and you decided that you're not going to commit suicidal, yeah? So between to this, there is a process, and the process is everything is going to be over. And until it's over, you're going to pass through an evolution process in the area of your life that's necessary. Because with the same virus, I can have a health problem, I can have a financial problem, I can have a family problem, I can have many different problems, yeah? Now, you can't handle all problems together. So you're going to have one by one, step by step, you have what? 80 years of life. And during this time, baby, you're going to have minimum 10 big problems to solve. Minimum. With 10 big problems, you're going to evolve much faster. So in this moment, it's difficult to say this. But next step, you're going to have to take care of you. You're going to have to take care of you, starting by your health, your physical exercises, because you love yourself, because you're going to respect this body that has you inside. You are much more than a body, yeah? And what is inside you, it's you, yourself. You have to take care of this temple, of this thing that's taking care of you. First, you have to respect, love, and care. You have to hug yourself. You have to protect yourself. Say, we're going to do this together. I'm going to take you out of this problem, this chaos. The tragedies are sad, but I'm not going to stop to think about this, because everybody has problems. We're going to start seeing how you by yourself can do this. And we are going to find ways, tools, videos, ideas in order to help who? Yourself. Why? Because you love yourself. But the first step here is to take care of your physical body. Because if you don't feed well, if you don't feed your thoughts well, you don't feed yourself well, feed, alimentar. If you don't put into yourself good things as exercise to balance your body, you can't have energy for other things. So that's step number one, take care of you. Then after this, that's step 5, you can start taking care of others. But pay attention, others as family, brothers, friends, it's just if you can do it. Because sometimes you have to take care of you first. And this is going to take what, 5-10 years? I don't know. For some people, 5 days. For some people, 5 weeks, 5 months. You're going to stop to take care of yourself first. Bring energy to yourself. And after this, with all this energy you have to yourself, the love that you carry about yourself, you're going to start donating to others. Through what? Through a good morning, through a hello, through a smiling, or through classes, to teaching, talking, helping, whatever. If you don't want to make the bags and donate, you give some money, or if you don't have money, you give time. If you don't have time, whatever. This process is when you are over. It's a transpassing. First, you're going to take care of yourself, and then you're going to take care of others. If you can, because if you can't, pay attention to you, that's enough. A lot of people pass through 1, 2, 3 lives without taking care of others because they can't, they simply can't, and it's okay. Because first you have to discover yourself. It's in the Bible. First, love your brothers as you love yourself. Como você se ama também, yeah? Okay, step number 6, target for your intellect. So it's super important sometimes, because I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work to have money and my life is going to be completed. No, you have to have targets, goals, objectives to your intellectual area. And this intellectual area, it's related to books, courses, people that you're going to talk to, things that you're going to add into your life, something that you're going to discover that's new. You know that it costs 50 cents to make a pen like this. But here in Brazil, it's 2 reais. beak, for example, yeah? And in China, it's much easier. I'm not telling you that you have to export from China, import, no. I'm just giving you an example that ideas, if you study small things, you can have big insights and creativity to change jobs, change professions. You can change families, darling. You can just choose who's gonna be your brother and your sister, just in case you don't have good relationships with your belongings. What is the problem for people to say no sometimes? I can't right now. No, I'm not gonna talk to you again because we fight, we discuss, I know about this. So it's in between this life, you have to learn how to survive. And you're going to learn how to survive. The suffering is going to help you. The suffering, darling, is your best friend. I can tell you. That's because that's the one who's going to make you survive and evolve. We're not going to evolve by love. Yeah. First, we have to suffer to learn, because experience and suffering is the first path to achieve love. We don't even know what's love. We don't even know what's gratitude. We don't even know what's forgiveness. And it's a long path to achieve that. It's a big mountain. And all of us are trying to climb. And some of them didn't even try to climb. The idea is, do you want to be happy? Because this is the real path. And you have different ingredients, different books, different specialists talking about this at the same moment in a universal time. And the idea is, how many times have you listened to that? Do you have targets for all areas of your life, including your intellect? Because this is counting for you, for your happiness. Step number 7, work in your professional area. If you like your profession, do the best of it, because if you like, you're going to do. You're going to learn for recycling, you're going to teach new workshops, you're going to study the best specialists about it, and you're going to be better and better day by day. Now, if you don't like your job, like I was a lawyer, I didn't like doing audiences and going to forums and meeting judges. I didn't like that. I wasn't happy. I had to change myself, and changing profession is fucking difficult, but it was a challenge for me. The idea is, are you happy in your professional area? And if you are investing time on it to be better much day by day. There are a lot of people that don't do this. They stay in a comfort zone. It's all right. The salary is okay. And they don't improve. And then you don't have the real pleasure of life, because pleasure of life is always evolving in all areas, and that includes your professional area. You have to work on that and analyze if you're happy or not to do the necessary changes. It's up to you. Depende de você. It's not up to me or up to others in your family. Don't trespass the responsibility. Stay with the self-responsibility for yourself to do the changes that are necessary in order for you to be happy. Step number 8, fight against fear and anxiety. Yes, babe, you have to look at your anxiety and fear, because everybody has fear of something, anxiety of something, of course, but it's not going to be all the time up and it's not going to be all the time down. It's like this. You have to find the balance in everything in your life, and you have to look at your fears and in your anxiety. In which situations do you feel anxious? You have to know in order to control yourself. In which situations or times of the day do you feel fear? And why do you fear this? Why do you fear this? That's so important for you to make money. Why do you fear this? You are afraid of something that's going to take you to happiness. Why you're so afraid of doing and seeing and looking and analyzing and doing the checking list? Can't you work with this insecurity better with books, courses, videos that's going to help you face this? Because this is you. And you have to look at yourself and say, it's okay, Graziella, you are afraid of this. And it's okay. Talk to the little girl, the little boy that's inside you. Take care of them, you know? Put them to do the things that's necessary. You are the director. You are the president of your life. Don't put this into other people's responsibility. Number 9, darling, after all this I've talked to you, many people say, you work with a lot of attitudes, verbs, and do it. But if you don't have a spiritual life in any kind of religion, you're going to fall down. Because this is sure, the body goes away. All the material things are going to go. The only thing that stays up is the spirit. Now, if you don't believe in this until 30, 35 years old, it's time for you to get up. How many suffering, how many tragedies you're going to have in order to find a spiritual life. And if you don't know anything about this, it's time for you to start studying. What's gonna happen to you after you die? Where are you going? Where do you come from? What's the purpose of this planet? You have to ask these questions in order to receive the answers. And the answers are in a lot of books. There are a lot of holy books, livros sagrados, that talks about this in all kinds of religion. But you have to find one that clicks with you and go. Because when you say you don't believe, it's much easier. Because you're going to say, I don't believe, fuck, so you don't have to study. You don't have to face this, that it's a little bit difficult to understand, yeah? Well, point number 10, darling. Let's think about all the 5 most important holy books in this planet. Holy books, livros sagrados. Torah from the Jewish, Al-Quran from the Islamism, yeah, the Muslims. Bible from the Catholics and Christians, evangelic people. What's next? Vedas, os hinduistas, and Buddha. Buddha wrote a book. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a evangelic from Spiritism. There is a book too. All right. Think about these 5 important books that you have heard. All of them talk about the same thing. Being a better person, to have contact with the holy life. All of them talk about the life that doesn't exist in this fucking ridiculous primitive eyes that you have. We are still animals. We go, we shit, we eat. We're still animals in here. So what we are trying to understand here is the mysteries of life. And it's better for you to start learning right now because you have 80 years. There's an end. And it's going to have a beginning of something that you don't even know what's going to happen. And then total fear is going to start on you. The idea about spiritual life, I'm not going to here to talk about religion, but it's for you to see that in every holy Bible, every holy book, it's written the same thing. There's going to be chaos in order to have solution. There's going to be tragedies in order for the people to evolve. There must be fire and virus and sickness in order for the planet to understand that life is not just this. It's not just money. It's not just fucking. It's not just drinking, eating. Sometimes I want to kill because I discovered this after 27 years of my life, 30, still learning. And there are a lot of people who take a long life, 3, 5 CPFs to learn about the same thing, CPF's ID. You know, how much time is going to take you to learn about the real thing that's going to happen? What's going on? Because people that have spiritual life and they know about the books, they're super calm. They're super calm in life. Like I am here in my apartment, having home office with my digital company because I already knew everything's going to be digital. We're going to have to reinvent. And this is part of evolution. Now, don't you think I suffered? Of course I suffered. When I didn't know anything about this. Step number 11, study God. Question the proposals of this life. And this is not a religious Bible because here I'm going to teach English for you. But I want you to listen to this in order to understand a little bit about your suffering. To understand a little bit why you're suffering, why some people are happy and some people are not. And this all includes the name of Allah, God, Buddha, Ashe, Ashub, Christianity, whatever. Find a person that's more powerful than you. Find an energy that controls you. Find this freedom and understand what you're doing with your life. Have a beginning and try to understand what's going on with yourself. It's so difficult, this. But with this, it's going to bring you calm and peace in order to understand how you're going to do this. Reading books, finding videos, doing meditation. I don't know how you're going to do it. There's many different methods. Choose one. There's many different people and many different methods. All of them are going to find into one. Evolute. And evolution is learning. And the learning process is not like this. It takes years, darling, to learn, to understand, to put in practice in your life, to see how bad we are, how animal we are, how dirty we are. We are in 2020 and we still need to learn how to wash hands. Hygiene. It was taught in Bible more than 2,000 years ago. Come on. What's happening to us? We eat and we fight for food. We eat and we fight for money. Something is wrong with the human being, and I include myself into this. All this process of media and everything that's coming into us, the information is wrong. What somebody taught me and educated me, even my parents, they didn't know about it. It's wrong. And what's right? What's right is what's going to combine, match with you. And you can look for in books and videos and you're going to find something that clicks with your ideas. Because it's more than emotion. It's rational, baby. Spiritual life is not just, it's rational. You just think 1 + 1 = 2. Of course. There must be an education. There must be a consequence. There must be an explanation. You have to question who's God and try to understand who's this God and energy. What's the purpose of all this? How many planets we have in this universe? What are you doing here? What am I doing here? What we are doing together? Talking like this in this moment, exactly this minute. Why did you press button on and started to watch our channel? And everything. Why are you with this wife, with this husband, with this crush? Why did you end up in this school and this university? Why did you choose this profession? Do you think everything is coincidence? Do you really think that everything in this life is coincidence? Guys, it's time for us to get real. It's time for us to wake up. Life, the planet, is asking for us. May God bless everybody. And if you are a spiritist and you have something related to this spiritual life in any religion, you know what I'm talking about. Now, if you don't have, it's okay. It's time for you to start learning, because this is what makes people courageous, strong, and make it better for the next life. Take care. See you guys. Bye-bye.